Hey, what's up guys, the Balticom Data here, bringing you guys another bombastic video. And as you guys know, the new Chroma case came out. And I'm not going to do coverage on these skins. I'm just gonna give you guys my thoughts, because the Chroma case has been out for 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. And most of you guys already know what's in that case, and what changes this update brought to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So I'm just going to give you guys my personal opinion about new knives in the Chroma case. So let's get started. So when I actually saw the picture that Valve released of new knife skins, new knife patterns, I was kinda disappointed. I was very disappointed, to be honest, and that's just because some of these skins, actually most of these skins, looked kinda dull to me. They looked just silly, they looked fake, they looked like they shouldn't be in the game, and they looked like something that would never be in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Just because these patterns are actually so unusual. I was probably just not used to them and stuff like that. But I actually looked up more images, more pictures of these knives, and then I realized that only Valve's picture is kinda silly and kinda fake. Because these knives in-game actually look pretty fucking fantastic. And I'll go over these knives and tell you guys what I think about each of them. And let's start off with Damascus Steel, or how do you call it? Damascus Steel, I guess. And it's probably my least favorite pattern, and that's just because it's kind of similar to Stained, but I kind of prefer Stained more. It's somewhat more clean looking, and overall I just like it a little more, but I guess this isn't going to be a high tier knife, so it's alright, it looks alright, nothing special about it, to be honest. But this pattern definitely doesn't stand out at all, and that's probably the reason why I don't like it that much. And now let's move on to ultraviolet knives. And these are very similar to night knives. That's just because their blades are pretty black, and when you're actually holding some of these knives in game, for example the Karambit, you can't really see that violet color, you can't really see that purple. And you only see the black blade, and that makes it very, very similar to night skins, but nights are actually more dark, they are darker. I guess it's a matter of preference, but I prefer night over ultraviolet, and I don't know why. I mean, flip ultraviolet looks probably the best out of all of these, also like the gut ultraviolet, but other than that, these skins aren't all that nice in my opinion. I mean, purple is my favorite color, but these knives just don't look that nice in my opinion, except for the gut and the flip. And now let's move on to Rust Coat, and this knife skin is probably the most hated knife skin out of Chroma case, because most people consider it the worst looking. I've seen people on Reddit saying it looks like garbage, it looks like shit, but in my opinion it's definitely not all that bad. A lot of people are saying it looks like Battle Scarred Case Hardened, but in my opinion it looks like a combination between Battle Scarred Case Hardened and Battle Scarred Blue Steel. And Rust Coat also has different patterns. It's not only orange or brown. People have been claiming there are purple or dark blue Rust Coats out there as well. And what's interesting about Rust Coat pattern is that it only comes in Battle Scarred and Well Worn. And maybe that's one more reason why people think this is a garbage skin. But in my opinion, it looks pretty sweet. Don't judge, but I do like the skin. It's definitely not my least favorite out of Chroma case. And now let's move on to Tiger Tooth. And Tiger Tooth looks pretty damn sweet on some of the knives. And in my opinion, it looks the best on M9 Bayonet. And M9 Bayonet Tiger Tooth Factory New Stat Track is definitely one of my dream knives right now, just because it looks fucking epic in my opinion. The combination of this color, this pattern, and of this knife is just fantastic in my opinion. But what might surprise you guys is that I'm not a huge fan of how Tiger Tooth looks on Karambit. I think it looks even better on Flip Knife than Karambit. I don't know, it's just my personal preference, you might think differently, But Tigertooth is a pretty cool skin. It's definitely one of those skins that I thought is kind of fake, kind of silly when I first looked at it. But now it looks pretty nice, especially on the M9 bayonet. And now let's move on to the last two knife patterns, and that is Marble Fade and Doppler. These two are pretty similar just because both of them feature very different patterns. Like, what did we have before? We had case hardened. You could get full gold case hardened, full blue case hardened, which were pretty expensive because of their rarity. We also had slaughters, which had those diamonds, which had kitties, which had hearts as patterns. And we also had fade skins, which price was determined by the fade percentage. But for example, if you compare a fade knife with 85% fade and you compare it to a knife which has 100% fade, you will definitely notice a difference, but it's not going to be that huge. And if you compare a slaughter knife with a diamond pattern to a slaughter knife which has a heart pattern, you will also notice a difference, but it's not going to be that huge. But if you compare a Doppler, which is fully blue, to a Doppler that is fully pink, you will see a dramatic difference. Or you compare a Marble Fade, which is fully yellow, to a Marble Fade which is fully red, you will see a huge difference. So what I'm trying to say is that patterns on the Doppler and Marble Fade are very different on every knife. I've seen images of fully blue Dopplers, I've seen images of fully red Dopplers, which look just insanely good. I'll leave a link down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. I mean, these Dopplers are just incredible. I'm guessing the prices of fully red or fully blue Dopplers will be much higher than the ones which have black areas on them. And pretty much the same thing goes to Marble Fades. You could have Marble Fades with very different patterns. I mean, you could have two Marble Fade knives or two Doppler knives in your inventory with completely different patterns, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that it's the same knife because the patterns are so different. I really recommend you guys check out the link down below in the description because those Doppler patterns are just out of this world. They are so bright, so flashy, and overall they just look fantastic. I definitely want to get a fully red or a fully blue Doppler. I mean, they just look incredibly good. But that's pretty much it for this video. I want to know, what do you guys think about these skins, these new knife skins? And my favorite out of the bunch is probably Doppler. My second favorite is Marble Fade, and then it's pretty tough to decide. I guess third and fourth place is shared by Tigertooth and Rust Coat. And then there's Ultraviolet, and in the last place there's Damascus Steel or whatever. And let me know what are your rankings of these knife patterns in the comment section down below. I'm definitely interested in your thoughts, and it's been the Bully Commander. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.